Welcome back to Be the One. This is Nadia. Today I am doing. First off, I ain't been in here on here in a long time, and I don't really do show reviews, but I'm gonna do Power Book 4 Force. I've been waiting for this series. I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole thing. I just want to talk about this first episode because I'm so happy that Tommy is back. That is my boy. So we're just going to get right into it. My name is Nadia, if I didn't say that. This is going to be real short. We're just going to go over what happened to set up the story. First off, I didn't know if I was going to well, I heard the theme song one time before, but it wasn't, a video with the intro. With the intro, the theme song, like it really went with that. I liked it much better with the intro of the show and the graphics. So I thought that was great. So we're just gonna get right into it. When it starts off, Tommy is driving. I'm looking at my notes. He's driving down like a street with a bridge on it, and he's having all of these flashes of like bad things that happened in the past, and he's like basically taking everything really hard. Um, he's driving a classic Mustang, and he's driving fast as hell, like 90 or 100 miles per hour, and he turns the lights off while he's driving that fast in the middle of the night, and I think it was snowing too. So I don't know if he was just frustrated or if he was trying to kill himself. I don't know what he was doing, but to me, that's how I took it, that he was trying to get himself out of there, or he just didn't care if he crashed. That's how I took that. So, he's driving erratically in the snow and all of that, and then he just turns his lights off while he's driving, and all of this stuff is flashing in his head, like Lakeisha's flashing in his head, Ghost is flashing in his head, just all kind of shit is that just didn't work out in his favor. He's having flashes of it. So he turns the lights back on, and when he turns the lights on, there's like a street sign, and it says Chicago, or I don't know if it was like a interstate sign or something. So he kind of slammed on his brakes in front of that sign, and then he kind of turned around and he followed the sign to go on his way to Chicago, because really he was supposed to be heading towards California. Um, he arrives in Chicago, and there's this guy who's like telling him he needs to pay his parking fee, and he pulls a knife out on Tommy, and Tommy's like, you basically like, you can't be serious. Or that he pulled a gun out on him. He made him give him the knife, and basically he just messed up his whole rotation. Uh, he was in front of a house, and he asked the guy that was trying to get the money for him for parking about the lady that stayed at the house. He asked, when did she die? And the dude says she's not dead. She's at, what was the name of it? Mulhern's nursing home, I believe. So then they go to the next scene. Diamond is cutting someone's hair. I'm assuming it's his dad. He's like taking his time doing it. He's letting the guard know that he's going to use a razor, and the guard, says okay or whatever, just to acknowledge that he's using it. Then he's talking to this man. They're not having like a deep conversation, but he says something like, "I know you miss me, old man," or something like that. He said, I don't know when I'm going to see you again, so that's why he was taking his time. So I'm assuming that it was his dad. I'm not sure if they said it was. I missed it, but I'm not sure. So, oh, there's a YouTuber, J Mo. He does. I followed him when he was. That's when I first started following him. He was doing reviews of the first book of Power. That's where I first saw him at, and I followed him, through the Power universe doing the shows and stuff like that. And I'll catch his lives and stuff every once in a while. But he had a role on there. I was like, that's cool. And he had a speaking role. So it was a short, we saw him and he had a speaking role. And I thought that was pretty cool. Because he was always doing the reviews. And it's great to see people that start off on YouTube wind up in these shows and stuff. I just like that. So anyway, Tommy walks into the bar and he meets Gloria. Basically, he's saying something smells good and stuff. She's giving him drinks and they have this little banter going on, blah, blah, blah. She tells him to come back later because the food isn't done. Her kitchen isn't open yet. So when he comes back, ew, excuse me. Well, we're going to skip that for right now. They go back to the prison, and Diamond is getting out of jail. And the guard tells him, that he liked his J's or whatever, and he'll give him $50 for it. And he was like, he on some kind of website, and he was like, I don't know what that website is, but I know I could get more than that for the shoes. Then the guard pulls out a thing and says the other guards or whoever at the jail, they put together and got him like a nice little barber set in a like a leather case or whatever, and he really appreciated that. So what he wound up doing was giving the guard, he told him just enjoy the J's. He steps outside of the jail and his brother Jannard is there to meet him. When he walks out of the gate, he kind of bends down and he puts his hand in a puddle of water and he's like rubbing through it, just feeling it. And his brother's like, it doesn't rain or snow behind the walls. And he just looked up and he's like, it just feels different. What else we got? Tommy was in front of the bar again. I guess he was going to get the food. And Vic rolls up and he kind of tries to puff his chest out and flex on Tommy. He wants him to move out of the spot that he wants to park in. And Tommy like, what the hell is up with this city and parking? Like, what's up with y'all? So I didn't catch the other guy. It was an older man, basically warning him. Well, like a sidekick dude, he kind of he's called Tommy like a Boston something or whatever, and he said something about Larry Bird. So Tommy just took note of that. He was just looking at them, and the guy went into the bar. Tommy was still outside, and like somebody that works for the Flynn's, an older man, he was asking him if he was coming or going. Tommy like, he passing through, and the guy's telling him like, you don't want to get mixed up with the Flynn family or whatever. He's like, that's supposed to mean something to me. So that goes on, and he goes back inside, and the sidekick, what was his name? Simon? Yeah, his name was Simon. He goes back into the bar, and Gloria was like, oh, you came back. He wanted the food or whatever. She was like, most people don't know about whatever kind of food it was she was talking about. I don't remember. So, they just over there talking, and she like, excuse me. She went over there to see what Simon was doing, because basically he was having some type of altercation with a woman, and he had already rubbed Tommy the wrong way outside, and Tommy just liked to fight, so it was just an excuse for him anyway. And he just was peeping how they was moving. He gathering information with stuff that people are saying to him. So Simon went out back to pee or whatever, and he was on the phone. And Tommy went out there, basically beat the man ass, broke his hand up, and took his phone. So when he did that, he just kept it to see who, what kind of messages and stuff he was going to be getting. Oh, but before that, uh, Gloria went to address them when he was having an altercation with the woman, and she was basically telling him he wasn't shit, like he was just a flunky or whatever working for the Flynn people. I might have that messed up. No, she told that to Vic basically when Vic came in the bar. Um, After Tommy beat his ass, he asked, Gloria if any of that was gonna blow back on her. He didn't want her to get into any shit because, of his actions. And she told him his soup was ready. When she said that, they had this look in between them, and then next thing you know, they was in the bed getting it in. Um, the next thing, Claudia went to this, like, I don't know what kind of bar it was, but it was like a club or something. And she walks in, she asks the people, like, what are we drinking? And the man tells them it's like something from his family and it's meant to be sipped or whatever. She down and shit. And then she goes and, like, she eyes this girl that's dancing on the dance floor. She walks up to her and they kind of start making out on the dance floor. Next thing you know, they're at somebody's high rise apartment somewhere and they getting it in. And they're doing drugs. I was surprised that Claudia was doing drugs because, you know, it just didn't seem like, because her family is like involved in drugs and stuff. Most of the time people don't use their own supply, so that took me by storm. And earlier she was telling her dad that she wanted like more power or whatever, and basically he just wanted her to shut up and be pretty and be behind the scenes. I don't know if her dad knows that. I don't know if she's gay or bisexual. I don't know if her dad knows that, because he probably wants her to just find somebody and get married or something like that and probably start popping out children. He just want her to be a pretty face. What else we got? But whatever drugs her and the girl was doing, she was asking if they had more, and she was like it was different or something. So I don't know what it was that they were doing, but and I don't know if she asked if she had more because she wanted to try to start selling it, and she wants to figure out what it is, or she wants to figure out who the supplier is and take them out, because that could be what she's getting at with that also. So Tommy has Simon's phone and he's intercepting the messages, and he used that to meet up with Vic. And he asked Vic, well, demanded that Vic introduces him to the Connect. So they go to the drug deal, and it was two like little tweakers that were like trying to sell him the drugs. And basically what happened, Vic was doing this deal behind his dad's back, trying to make, money under the table or whatever. But it got them in a situation because, like, he came with not enough money. Janard was there also, and when shit started to go left with the drug deal, he tried to shoot, but his gun jammed. uh Tommy had took Vic's gun before they went in there. So pretty much Tommy saved the day with the deal. He already realized that that was their first drug deal, and they didn't know to test the quality of it and all of that. But Tommy just took the money and he took the drugs and just went on about his way. Vic had met up with Claudia, and she pretty much advised him that doing the back alley deals or whatever behind the dad's back wasn't a good idea, you know. So it's turned out, just she's pretty much smarter than him. She's the one who should be more in charge than him, but because her dad pretty much wants his son to be ahead and in charge if something happens to him or whatever, that's what it is. But she's really smarter than him. Um, let's see. What? I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes. Uh, Tommy goes to that nursing home to meet the lady, and it turns out that it was actually his grandma. And when he's leaving out, someone is following him. So he gets his gun ready. He pulls his gun out when he feels a person get close to him. And when he turns around, the dude's like, "You came here to visit, I don't remember her name, but came here to visit Momo Egan." And he was like, "Nobody has come to see her in the last however long but me. And I'm her grandson." Well, he was like, "I'm her grandson too." So Tommy have a black brother. I forgot what his name is. And he pretty much wanted to know about his mother, because Kate crazy ass is his mother too. And Tommy basically like, "So you were raised by your dad or whatever?" And he's like, "Okay." So he like, basically, you ain't miss out on nothing. And he didn't really give the brother much information about Kate, basically telling him he was better off. They exchanged numbers. They exchanged numbers. And Tommy like, "Well, maybe I'll call you or some shit." Like, I thought that was funny because he didn't know what to do with that information, and he is not like, uh, um, you know, he just rough around the edges. He don't know how to meet new friends, become friends with people and stuff. So I just thought that was funny how he said that. Jannard brings Diamond into, I guess, an old barbershop they used to work at or something. And he basically tells him that, it's yours now. So, he was really appreciative of that. And he, basically, he wants to be on a new path. He don't want to kill people no more. He wants to get his barbershop going and just live a regular life. But we all know he gonna get wrapped up in some shit. When Jannard leaves, there was a police officer that came in there. It was a guy came in, and he's like asking if they're open or something, and he's just being weird. And then he gets a phone call. When he opens his jacket, you can see that he had a badge. So he knew exactly who Diamond was, and he said his name when he left out. But he knew exactly who it was, and he was kind of like flexing or whatever, letting them know that we know you're out and we watching you, basically. Let's see. Tommy driving down the street in like three big black SUVs. They come and box him in, and so they pull him over. He stops, and it's Walter Flynn's people. They bring him to his house or whatever. First, they took his gun from him, and then they bring him to the house. Uh, Claudia is over. She's like standing up high. She's looking down on the interaction that's going on. So now she sees Tommy. She doesn't know who he is. I don't even think he told Gloria his name. I don't remember. I don't think he told anybody his name. But earlier when he was in the car too, he was like looking up the Flynn family, and he was looking up CBI. So he kind of has a little intel on who they are, you know. He got a little intel on who they are. And basically Walter Flynn is kind of like threatening him. He trying to give him these uh parables and shit, telling him about the cow in the fire being sacrificed and Bible verses and all of this, and Tommy like, just get to the point. So he was basically like saying, I would be dead already. You're welcome. I don't know if he said you're welcome, but something to the fact like, you're welcome for saving your son's life or something like that. And he threw him the money back and the drugs that he stole. So I don't even know if Walter knew about that beforehand. Vic ass walk into the meeting late. Um And he kind of walked in right when Tommy was throwing the drugs and the money back to Walter. And Walter just looked at his son because he like, that just let him know that the son was doing some shit behind his back. So this is just going to be interesting. He basically told Tommy to leave. But we all know Tommy ain't leaving. Earlier he called Rodolfo because he kept blowing him up. And he told him, I'm not coming. And I don't work for nobody. He his own boss. So that's where we starting off with Tommy. This about to be some crazy shit. It's gonna be back and forth with him and Vic. And then once Vic finds out that he's dealing with Gloria too, that's gonna be a thing. Um I'm just excited for it because I just love Tommy. And this did give me more of like the first couple seasons of Power. So I'm just interested in where it's going. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do the whole. I'm going to try to, but I'm not consistent on here. I want to be. I'm going to try to do the whole season, or at least try to do a couple of them at a time. But let me know what y'all think about it. I really enjoyed this first episode, and I like how it felt like and how it looked. I thought it looked good. I thought the like those drone shots and stuff that they did of the city and the way they showed the street signs and stuff like that. I liked how that looked, and I'm just excited to see where it goes. But I know that this is going to be good. So like, comment, subscribe, thumbs it up, thumbs it down, do whatever you want to do. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.